Welcome to the Geek Easy. Sit back, grab a libation of your choice, and relax, 'cause it's time to do some geek stuff in the Geek Easy. Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. This is something that I've been meaning to do for a few days now, but I needed to do a review of Batman Knightfall Volume 1. And I don't see how they managed to get a picture of me on the front of this thing. Yeah, right. But yeah, usually I take these to work. They aren't the super big ones like the omnibus. I have all these omnibuses that I've been doing reviews of. Like the 1,500-page ones. Those are too big to take to work. And so I'll take the trades and stuff like this and read at work. And so that's why you're seeing me do kind of a combination of the two. But I had read this one before. I got through this one and then about halfway through Volume 2 and then realized that I hadn't finished 2 or 3. So I started to reread this one again just to make sure that I was up to date. Now, people probably know this excuse me. This Knightfall is where, as you can see by the cover, Batman gets his back broken by Bane. Okay, so this starts out, it's published by DC, written by Doug Moench, Chuck Dixon, and Alan Grant. Because this is a bunch of different stories together. We have the pencilers of Jim Aparo, Norm Brayfool, Graham Nolan. I wonder if that's any relationship to the director. John Bellant, Brett Blevins, Klaus Johnson, and Mike Menley. It starts out with The Vengeance of Bane, which introduces Bane, his life story, and then why he managed to come to Gotham and target Bruce Wayne, or Batman. So we already have, in the story, Bruce Wayne really tired from doing all this, from overextending himself. Then Bane comes to town. He wants to test the Batman and starts investigating him, wants to know more about him, and then releases all the inmates from Arkham. Just because it turns out that he wants to defeat Batman, but he also wants to know his limits. So he does that, just keeps pushing, and it keeps pushing him, and then at some point he manages to go face to face, and due to Bane's superior intellect, he was able to find out who Batman was just by observation and all that. So he pushes him to the limit and breaks his back, and that is where they decide to, not he, but Bruce decides to have Jean Paul Valley, Azrael, take his place. And with the condition that they didn't go after Bane. He didn't go after Bane because Bane would be too dangerous. Now that one thing I had always wondered why was, or wondered was why he decided to go with Azrael instead of just having Dick Grayson take over. And they bring that up in this. I think it's Tim says, why don't you just go with Dick? And he says, well, Dick already has his life. He already has his things. I don't want to interrupt it. And I guess Tim wasn't ready enough or something like that. So in his exhausted condition, he just chose poorly. And this one leads up to Batman, Azrael taking over as Batman. His first few, what do you call them, adventures. His decision to change the uniform into the armor, and then his eventual confrontation with Bane. Very good story. The only problem I have is, unlike, No Man's Land, there are some side stories in this one that just detract from the flow. The main stories are all the ones with Jean Paul and everything, but they have a few side ones like Shadow of the Bat and some other of the issues at the time that I guess needed to be included with the event, where they would have, like, there's one with Scarecrow going after some rare books, and he runs into the son of his first victim and all that. And so this doesn't really have anything to do with Knightfall. And, Scarecrow wanted to become the new god of fear. Again, nothing that has to do with Batman breaking his back and Azrael taking over. So that was one of the things that just kind of bugged me. It was just like, dude, what does this have to do with the main storyline? So that was a little bit of a distraction on my case for me. But this is a very good story. These ones and like Contagion and No Man's Land are all so much better than the stuff that's going on nowadays. Which is why I'm trying to get caught up on it and finish it, because I haven't read the whole thing. But so far, Volume 1 is all that I've gotten through. I'm about a third of the way through the second one. The stories, for the most part, like I said, are really good. Some of the side ones could be thrown out, and it wouldn't have affected the story. They don't affect the story. So, but if you take those out, you can, you'd still know exactly what was going on, and wouldn't be wondering why you're reading this. And the art is very good quality. So I am going to give this a 3.5 out of 5, just because some of the stories, like I said, are not helpful. But so 3.5 out of 5, and say if you haven't read this storyline, it is, one of the more important Batman storylines. They even reference it in the Nolan movies. And so pick it up and give it a read. Like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your comics.